Hyperinflation is coming to America as I speak. This is from the Kaiser Report, episode E1694. Planet Ponzi is here. So this is 15 minutes and 36 seconds in of a 25-minute, 44-second video. And he has a guest on. You know, when you watch the entire video, you'll find out who the guest is. I'm not going to do all that work for you, give you all the information. But anyway, the one dude that's been asking me about inflation and what does hyperinflation mean, and I did a video on what is a VAT tax, which I didn't get too many people really responding to that video. Not too many hits, because they don't want to do the real work. They don't want to, Jake doesn't want to, it seems like Jake doesn't want to think. So when we go into the VAT tax, use the term VAT tax and what is it? What is that? SDR. What's the term for it? Special drawing rights. Terms when we use terms like that when we do our videos, it goes over to people's head, and people don't want to. Most of the time, you just go to Google to give you the answer. Now, there's certain. When you go to Google and you put in certain terms, they don't give you a clear answer. Like inflation, they don't give you a clear answer. Or hyperinflation, they don't give you a clear answer. They'll say inflation is blah, 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 and hyperinflation is more blah, blah, blah. Inflation is when they create dollars and flood those dollars that they created out of thin air into the system, which weakens and destroy the dollar that we use every day. And you had at one time the Chinese and other nations buying into the dollar, but they're not doing it anymore. They're creating their own alliances with their dollar. They're not the U.S. dollar, the Federal Reserve note, is no longer the petrodollar, which they call the world reserve currency, meaning when nations do business with other nations, sovereigns do business with other sovereigns, these various countries, they have to take their money, form of money, convert it into FRNs, Federal Reserve notes, and buy from another country with those Federal Reserve notes. So they have to transfer the money, their money, into the FRNs, the U.S. dollars as they call it, but they're actually FRNs. The dollars that you use, that's in your wallet, are from a private bank, a banking system. It's just that the U.S. government declared that as a currency. It's not money, it's currency. It's something that's currently being used. So anyway, I'm going to let you listen to some of this, and then I'll close it.
$36,000 added to a cost of a new home just in the last year because it's been securitized, because it's been financialized as part of the Planet Ponzi, it is racing ahead out of control. Prices are up 15% in the U.S., nearly 40% in Canada for houses. Compared to the subprime crash, however, incomes are now up. Interest rates are at an all-time low. Fed is buying up the mortgage-backed securities. So it looks like the 20s, but it actually, structurally, it's a lot worse than the 1920s mentioned.
Oh yes, Max. It's definitely worse, and this is going to definitely end extremely badly for everybody. This fake money printing and thinking that MMT, magic money trade, or modern monetary theory, that you're capable of just printing infinite quantums of money without hyperinflation or other ramification, is just the most bizarre thing I've ever heard of in my life. Look, I've said this before. U.S. dollar hegemony is coming to an end. China will probably come up with some kind of commodities along with a bunch of other countries with an exchangeable commodities-based fungible exchange for, I don't know, so
U.S. hegemony, when you look it up, it basically means I'm the premier nation. You can look it up and get the full definition. When you go to Daniel the 7th chapter, and it says their look was more stout than their brethren, that's America looking down on the other European nations. So that word stout, pretty much hegemony means stout, looking stout on somebody. We're better than you. And that's why they're hated by the European Union and the NATO nations. They hate them, and it said the Most High put it in their heart to do so, and they're going to shoot fire on the U.S. See, the U.S. is worrying about China and their military might, and Russia and Arab nations, but what they should be worrying about is their own allies, because their own allies, pursuant to Revelation 17, you can start at the 12th verse. They don't realize they're going to get a big surprise. They're going to be looking to Russia, attack from Russia when this war commences, China and the Arab world, and they're going to get stabbed in the back by their own European allies. Let's listen to a little bit more. Cold wars turn into hot wars.